WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Thank you for joining us. Voices in Lowndes County are calling for change after racially charged remarks from Board of Supervisors President Harry Sanders go public. Now, some of those voices are coming from the business community, others from right here in the courthouse.
And I feel like Black lives are extremely important, and apparently the supervisors in this county don't agree.
Courthouse protesters calling for immediate action from county supervisors in response to comments made by Board President Harry Sanders. Let's go! Harry Sanders, let's go! Let's go! District 2 Supervisor Tripp Harston released this statement early Wednesday morning.
I support immediate action to remove Harry Sanders as president of the Lowndes County Board of Supervisors. But we cannot reach our goals while being led by presidents with those views.
These goals could include future economic development in Lowndes County.
With corporations looking to relocate here or even locate here with various businesses, those type comments matter. And people take those to heart. And I am concerned about the economic development impact of those statements.
Chief Executive Officer of the Golden Triangle Development Link, Joe Max Higgins, had this to say in regards to Sanders' comments. Quote, "We are deeply saddened and disappointed that Supervisor Harry Sanders, a partner who has contributed to the growth of our region, made statements in meetings and in subsequent news interviews which cast a disturbing and negative shadow on our community." End quote. It was a vote on removing the Confederate statue in front of the Lowndes County Courthouse that prompted Sanders' comments to a local newspaper. Supervisors voted 3-2 to keep the monument where it is. Now, that could change. Harston voted Monday to leave the monument in place. He has since changed his mind.
I couldn't move forward with keeping the monument where it was when there's so much controversy now regarding those comments. With the cooperation of the mayor, and when he offered to pay for half of the move and also to accept in the Friendship Cemetery, that was a big thing.
Protesters at today's rally say it's important for other leaders, especially white community leaders, to take a stand.
It's important for white people to speak up. We have privilege, and it's time for us to use our voice in order to support our Black brothers and sisters who need us. There has never been a more important time to use your voice.
The backlash has been spreading throughout the community. I'm joined now by Bobby Martinez, who's been hearing from county residents after a day of demonstrations and calls for change. Bobby.
Cash, one group is calling for Harry Sanders to do more than step aside as president of the Board of Supervisors. This morning, the Lowndes County Chapter NAACP held a press conference at the courthouse calling for Sanders to resign from office. The group president, Lavon Harris, said Sanders' comments were not only hurtful, but also brought back dark memories of slavery, and said she is doing all she can to see Sanders step down.
We done been down that history. You don't know what slavery's about. You ain't never been whooped, beat, had to get up, been raped, you know, when you want to, anytime you feel like beat, go to bed hungry. He not used to that. And Harry's living a good life, but he don't understand he living a good life off of slaves.
Also said the comments made by Harris said also the comments made by Sanders is also a hurt to Columbus, and the group that gathered here today say they are not in support of Sanders' comments. A call for action was the focus of Wednesday's gathering. These people say the only option for Sanders now is for him to step down from his elected position.
He needs to resign.
April Clayton says Sanders' comments do not represent the city of Columbus.
The fact that he does not represent Columbus in any way, shape, or form, what he said about the African-American community was ignorant and inappropriate.
Many people believe Sanders' comments are tone deaf and could not come at a worse time. And to Zab Clayton, enough is enough.
I just think it's important that as a white person, I show Harry Sanders that he does not speak for all of us. We need to show support for Black and brown people in our city and in our country, and tell them that they're not alone in this fight, and that we can use our privilege as white people to amplify their voices.
Wiggins also wants people nationwide to know Sanders' comment do not reflect the state of Mississippi.
Mississippi is not as backwards as everyone wants to think. You know, there are plenty of young people who disagree with Harry Sanders' gross retelling of history because that is not historically accurate.
Katori Shields says he is happy the crowd is diverse.
I believe that it is great that we had a whole multitude of races, not just black, white, but all people to come together. And that's what we have to do as a community, come together to lift not just black, but the whole community up. We're a brotherhood and we're a family. You have to lift each other up.
Now, the Golden Triangle Development Link Executive Committee issued a resolution to lawmakers yesterday, in part saying our state flag does not assist our organization and our communities to attract and grow business and industry. The resolution also says the Confederate battle emblem on our state flag serves as a visual representation of our state's divisive history. To read the full resolution, go to our website, wcbi.com. Now, the chance for a bill to come out of the state Senate for changing the flag appears unlikely. Mississippi Today is reporting that Lieutenant Governor Delbert Hosemann assigned the resolution to suspend the rules for lawmakers to consider changing the state flag to the Senate Constitution Committee. The online publication says the chairman of the committee, Republican Chris Johnson of Hattiesburg, does not plan to call up the resolution for consideration. This would effectively kill the legislation. He favors voters deciding on whether to change the flag. There's been no update on the progress of a similar resolution in the State House of Representatives. Some of Aberdeen's elected leaders will remain the same after last night's runoff. Incumbent Police Chief Henry Randall defeated Tony Tillman by more than 200 votes. Randall has been chief for more than 10 years. Aberdeen is one of the few towns in the state that elect its police chief. In the Ward 1 runoff, Nicholas Holliday defeated Robert Duvall by 37 votes. Randall and Holliday do not have an opponent in the general election, which will be held July 7th.
Just a few isolated showers across our region this afternoon. Most of you enjoying a great summer day. We've actually had one of those showers move right through downtown Columbus, but already seeing some blue sky back to the north. Let's go to radar. You can see that downpour just moving south of downtown Columbus into the southern part of the city, and a few other blips up here in Calhoun County. These are few and far between and will not last too long if you happen to see it. Sunny to the south, sunny to the north, just a little band of clouds with those light showers from Oxford to Columbus to West Alabama. But all of that will be on the way out as we go throughout the next hour or two. Clear skies overnight, and temperatures will be quite comfortable yet again. Overnight lows getting back down into the 60s. We're thinking mid to low 60s. If you've been in the upper 50s the last couple of nights, probably back down into the upper 50s too. Temperatures will be warming as we approach the weekend. Your full forecast coming up.
New at 6 family and Eupora police are asking for your help to find a runaway teen. 15-year-old Visheria Wofford was last seen Tuesday evening. Police Chief Greg Hunter says Wofford left her home after an argument with family members. If you know where she is tonight, call Eupora police. A memorial is planned later this week for a Shannon High School student who collapsed and died during football practice. 16-year-old Jacoby Kaishan Cooper died Tuesday after collapsing at Shannon High School. Counselors were at the school throughout the day to talk with any students. The school will have a candlelight vigil and balloon release at 7:30 Thursday evening at the high school. Cooper's body was sent to the state crime lab in Pearl for an autopsy to determine the cause of death. Governor Tate Reeves reminds Mississippians to continue to be on guard after 489 new COVID-19 cases are reported today. Those new cases bring the state's total to 20,600. 23 deaths are being reported as well. 16 of those are from death certificate investigations. 2 of those investigation deaths are in Lee County, while 1 death was also reported in Lowndes, Monroe, Oktibbeha, and Tishomingo counties each. Statewide, there have been 938 deaths. The health department estimates over 15,000 people in Mississippi have recovered from the virus.
Aberdeen Main Street is looking for investors to help breathe new life into the old Parkway Hotel, and it could be a big economic boost for the area. We'll have that story coming up on WCBI News.
You're watching WCBI's News at 6 with Joey Barnes.
Welcome back, everyone. Aberdeen leaders are looking for investors to restore the glory and grandeur of a hotel in the downtown business district. Allie Martin has more.
The process of restoring, renovating, and remodeling an old hotel can now get underway. Earlier this week, Aberdeen Main Street signed the papers closing the deal and purchasing the old Parkway Hotel. The purchase of the Wcbi Inn, known by many as the Old Parkway Hotel, capped months of fundraising efforts by Aberdeen Main Street and was cause for celebration.
It's priceless for Main Street.
Aberdeen Main Street Director Ann Tackett spearheaded the fundraising campaign to purchase the historic building with a price tag of $150,000. Now the old hotel, built in the 1920s, can become a centerpiece for a revitalized downtown with the help of the right investor. Preliminary plans call for a restaurant on the ground floor, along with boutique-style hotel rooms and apartments on the second and third floors.
People will have the opportunity to live downtown, to walk to the movie, to walk to the shops, to have dining areas. So all of this comes as a lot of hard work. We've had a lot of donations from the community.
Area business owners are excited about the impact and believe the timing is perfect. Shelley Bowen owns the Blue Owl, a houseware and gift shop a few blocks away from the hotel.
As it brings new people in from downtown, and I think that will also, they will spread the word, because Aberdeen is a beautiful town. We have lots to offer. I think it will just help the community altogether.
The L-shaped addition built in the 1950s will not stay. It will be torn down to make room for parking, landscaping, and possibly a swimming pool. In Aberdeen, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Now, Columbus developer Chris Chain has developed a renovation plan for the project. Demolition of the addition could start as early as August. And if they were starting this week, they might have some good weather.
The fantastic weather for construction right now.
Yeah.
Dry weather, most of the rain staying away. Not all. A few isolated showers this afternoon. Eupora tomorrow, how about mid to upper 80s? We start out upper 50s, low 60s, but by the afternoon, pretty nice day, partly cloudy. I'm back with your full forecast next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Well, 99% of us didn't see any rain today, but a few isolated showers this afternoon causing a little bit of worry in some spots. One shower moved through Columbus that went poof as soon as it left the city. We have a few other blips where we had another cloud there just to the southeast of Aberdeen. That thing's falling apart. And also a few blips on radar here in Calhoun County. Not too exciting, but a little bit of rain out there. One little spoke of cloudiness producing those showers right now. The driver of it, an area of low pressure up there in Virginia. And we are on the western fringe of that. Where they need the rain desperately is Arizona. 3 of the biggest fires in the country right now burning in Arizona right now. This is video from earlier today. This is just outside of Phoenix. This is just one near Tucson, one near the Grand Canyon, this one near Phoenix, producing a lot of smoke. And over the next 24 hours, notice how the smoke plumes will continue to drift to the northeast. That is the story down there. Now, some of that smoke from these western fires has actually infiltrated our region, getting caught up in the wind flow. So some of that is very subtle, but could give rise to a nice sunset or sunrise here in the near term. For this weekend, 94 degrees Saturday, sunny and warm. Summer begins Saturday afternoon, officially 94 on Sunday, Father's Day. Maybe a spotty shower or storm, but much like today, most spots will not see it, it would appear. Our time lapse from downtown Tupelo today, some building cumulus clouds. Those cloud bases were very dark. It looked like it was going to rain in many spots, but most of you avoided it. Currently 85 in Tupelo, 86 in Louisville, Mississippi. A gorgeous evening developing for you. In Columbus, as we mentioned, the shower has moved on through. Currently in the low 80s, a little bit cooler though in the city where we have seen a few showers actually reach the ground. Back up to 81 in Vernon at Durham's Pharmacy now that the sun has returned. For tonight, clear skies, mid to low 60s, maybe a few upper 50s too. The wind will go calm. And for tomorrow, your Thursday, how about another partly cloudy day, mid to upper 80s across the region. Pretty toasty here yet again. The area of low pressure in Virginia is gradually pulling away, so I think the better rain chances tomorrow and beyond will be just to our northeast. We'll have a nice deck of cumulus clouds bubble on up during the heating of the day. Those will go away tomorrow evening, and we'll see a few more clouds here on Friday. There will be a frontal boundary back to the northwest that will gradually approach as we get into early next week. I think that front's going to fall apart before it gets here, but we'll have more moisture in the air and just a little bit of upper level energy to give us a better chance for some storms Monday and Tuesday. So we are bumping up those rain chances, and we will need some rain around here. It's been pretty dry. I'm thinking I'm going to have to water my flowers tomorrow morning just to get out ahead of this dryness that is developing. Low to mid-90s for the weekend, overnight lows climbing into the 70s. Sports is next.
WCDI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
You'll have to wait a decade, but the Mike Leach Bowl is coming to Starkville. Mississippi State and Washington State have agreed to a home-and-home series for August 2030 in Starkville and August 2031 in Pullman, Washington. Leach spent the past 8 seasons as the head coach of Washington State before taking the Mississippi State job. Kermit Davis and Ole Miss have taken advantage of the transfer portal the past 2 seasons, adding Demencio Vaughn and Romello White this offseason, along with the additions of Jarkel Joyner, Sean Robinson, Matt Morrell, and Robert Allen, who will be available this upcoming season. But the transfer portal giveth and it taketh away. Rising junior combo guard Blake Hinson has entered the transfer portal. AL.com's Matt Zenitz was the first to report. Hinson averaged 10 points per game this past season, shooting 40% from the field and 31% from 3. Hinson joins guard Bryce Williams as players that are transferring from Ole Miss. Caledonia football duo Hayden Barker and Brandon Edmondson will continue to be teammates at the JUCO level, the two signing with the Southwest Community College football program. Edmondson racked up more than 1,000 yards of total offense and 9 touchdowns as quarterback for the Feds. Barker recorded 33 tackles and 2 fumble recoveries as a defensive tackle in 2019. Blue Mountain Women's Soccer secures its first ever signing. Former ICC and Saltillo goalkeeper Haley McGill signing with the Lady Toppers. McGill had 43 saves in 9 starts for ICC as a sophomore. That's it for sports. We'll be back after the break.
If timing is everything, then take a moment tomorrow to watch part 2 of Better Together, a mid-morning conversation. Andrea Self talks with attorney and West Point pastor Orlando Richmond, Nadia Colomb, the former executive director of the Golden Triangle Boys and Girls Club, Tupelo's Leah Davis, and a recent graduate from the University of Mississippi, and Jason Robertson. As a student at Morehouse College, this group talks about the real meaning behind those terms we hear so often: systemic racism, Black Lives Matter, and what it means to be an ally. A valuable conversation, especially right now.
And that systemic racism is one of the most researched terms in the country right now. People want to know what systemic racism is. It's also called institutional racism, and that helps to understand it. It means that as a part and parcel of our institutions, racism has been embedded.
We'll hear a lot of people say, I'm not racist, but it is not enough not to be racist. So, Leah, I want to ask you, what does it mean to be anti-racist versus I'm not racist?
So I think when you say I'm not racist, you are avoiding the responsibility that you have in the conversation. And every white person and people who want to call themselves allies, they have a duty to uphold humanity and to use their privilege in order to protect Black lives.
So for me, I think that subject of privilege gets a lot of pushback because, you know, a lot of people feel like, you know, it's just, I don't understand how I had to pull myself up by my bootstraps just like you. But I think what I'm seeing today is the privilege to choose to stay in your comfort zone. This is a very uncomfortable topic. Very difficult for us to navigate, whether it's in our homes or in our churches or in our, you know, community groups. But some people do benefit from the privilege of staying silent on it. And I think it is very difficult to be a trusted ally if you aren't at least allowing the space for a different perspective to be heard.
Starkville native and Morehouse sophomore Jason Robertson is the 4th member of the panel. Robertson will be a first-time voter in November. He shares his perspective. That's all tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on Mid-Morning.
Those clouds and isolated showers fading away quickly this evening. We'll have no major problems from those. Tomorrow, more sunshine, a few friendly clouds here. Temperatures warming into the mid-90s for this weekend. Wow, look at that. Better chances for some scattered showers and storms as we get into your Monday and Tuesday, Joey. So summer starts Saturday, and it will be warm.
It will be warm, 94. It's going to go up quick.
Very fast.
But our gardens and yards will be ready for that
we need
rain
it.
chances.
Yes, we need it.
All right. Thanks, Keith. Thank you for joining us, everyone.